This is a really simple card to make, but it's got some super cool things going on that I can't wait to show you how to do. Hello and welcome to sunnydaystamping.com. I'm Julie Baca. I am so glad that you're here. Thank you for watching. I'm excited to share with you some punching tips today for making these quick and easy cards. You're really going to be able to just use anything that you have at home, any pretty cardstocks and some punches. All of the measurements for these cards are over on my website, and I have a link in this description that will take you directly to the blog post so you can get those. And if you like any of the products I'm using, you can purchase those right from there, but you'll be able to use what you have at home. So I'm so excited to show you. Let's get started. So for this card, you're going to need a card base, a color to go on top. We're going to punch on this. This will be for the inside of the card, but look, it's the same size. This is so simple. A little strip to go across the front to hold our focal point, and a couple scraps for the focal point. That is all you need as far as the paper. So to create this cool background where the card base is showing through to the front, you want to use a punch, and you can use whatever you've got at home, something that has some small images on it that when you punch it randomly is going to look cool. Now these are just two examples from Stampin' Up. We're going to just use the dragonfly punch, but I made so many cards and I used this one too. So stick around to the end to see lots of examples just to give you more ideas. So whatever color you're going to use as the front of your card, that's what we're going to punch on. And there are a couple things you want to know. So as you're punching, you can push it in all the way to punch some out, but you don't want to do that every time, because then the middle of your card is going to be like, there's going to be no paper left. You also do want to preserve all four corners so that you get a nice crisp edge. So don't punch those off, because look, if I were to punch this, do you see how this corner would be missing once I punched that out? So that would not look good. So now, but you can use just a little bit to create just portions of an image. And now you just want to stamp around. Now you can see with this one, this would take out a very large piece of the paper, which sometimes didn't look, I didn't really like how that looked. So you just want to be really cognizant of where you're punching and just look to see what is going to be punched out. So that is going to be plenty, but I am going to push this in a little bit and just do just a couple little tiny dragonflies out of some of the dead space. And honestly, this is probably like too much punching. I noticed that I liked less is more. Now save all these little pieces because we are going to use those on the inside. Y'all know I hate to waste paper if I can use it. So now just grab your card base and some glue and figure out which way you want this to go. Because this had kind of a little dead space, I'm going to put that more towards the bottom, and you can flip it this way and that way and decide where you want everything to be. You can also decide if you would rather have your card be in this direction too. So now you're just going to put glue on the underside. You can see that this is kind of a delicate piece. So I'm just going to put a little glue under there. We'll be able to get that on. So I'm just going to definitely make sure to get my corners and just put glue just everywhere. Don't do too much. We don't want it squeezing through. Just as I said, don't do too much. I did. Hey. So then I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on those two to make sure that sticks down flat. And we'll just center this up on here and then just push this in so that this is going to be in a nice straight line and it's going to look awesome. So that's the background, which kind of gives you that faux embossed look or just a really interesting background. You could also put designer series paper under here or punch out designer series paper and put it on a flat card base, whatever you want. Now this is going to be our focal point. And so you can put it in the center, you could put it up on the top or down below, just decide where you want that to be and stick it on there. You're measuring, it's this piece, the measurements for it are on my website, and they're exactly the width of this punched out layer. If you like your instructions to be printed out and sitting right next to you when you're making your card with all the measurements and everything, I do have downloadable PDFs, but they're only for my email subscribers. I send the new one out in my Friday morning email, so make sure to check that to download the new one. If you want to get on my email list, there's a link in the description to get on there. So there's my punching tip for making a background. Now I've got a punching tip for making that focal point. So once you have your card base made, you can see that you can use any focal point here, circle, square, whatever. And I am going to be using the hexagon punch with the heartfelt hexagon stamp set. This you can buy as a bundle. Unfortunately, as of today, it is sold out until April, but you can put it on your wish list. This is such a great set to have, but I still wanted to showcase this card because this heartfelt hellos coordinates with this stamp set and with the punch, and this is you can choose for free with any $50 purchase during Celebration, which there are only a few more days left of that. It ends February 29th. So even if you can't buy this right now, you can make a $50 purchase and grab this. And then when this comes back in stock, you can get this, but such a extra value. And look at all the great sentiments you get in both of these combined. So even these hexagons will fit perfectly in all of these sentiments, as well as being able to be punched out with the hexagon punch. So I'm going to go ahead and just stamp the inside of my card real quick before I do that greeting. And I just chose one out of that stamp set. And it also has this cutie patootie little flower, and I'm going to actually put that on the back of my card too. So now bring in all your little pieces that you punched out, and yours might not be dragonflies, they may be something else, but you can still do this same concept of taking your pieces and we're going to glue them to the inside layer of our card, and you can have them extending off. Just make sure not to put glue right there, and then we're going to flip it and cut off the excess. It is going to look so cool. Okay, so I did this on the inside of my card, and I'm just going to flip over and trim this off. And we're going to do the same thing with this. And then go ahead and put glue on it and stick it to the inside of the card. So that just looks so cool. Oh no, I noticed I did make a mistake. I should have been watching that my punched that out the wrong direction, and I should have had this to fix that, should have extended this off my paper and then trimmed it again, but we will just let that fly. Okay, here is the punching tip for the focal point. Go ahead and take one piece that you're going to stamp on and one piece that you want to be the border, and I want it to match this piece, and just take them both together and punch out the focal point. And now we're going to stamp on this one. So I'm making a birthday card, so I'm going to use this Let's Eat Cake, and then I want to give you a tip for these hexagons. So these hexagons do not have any substance on the inside. Do you see how they're just open? Which means that they can be stretched to be in a different position. But I did not like that when I went to punch it out and it was the wrong shape. So whenever you have a delicate die like this, instead of putting it on your stamp block, because you can see you can definitely have it be misshapen, go ahead and just lift it up from your stamp block and then just let it drop. That one was a little crooked, but so that way it's going to be in the exact shape that it needs to be. And so that's just a little helpful tip. Now you can definitely stamp this before you punch it, but I did not do that, did I? Okay, so I need to put this over my head. Just wait just a second, you guys. Let's see how I did. Oh yeah, I actually did it right. All right, those look like little lights to me. I love that. Okay, so now, oh, I got stuff on here. Take your other piece and cut it in half. You can do this with scissors if you want. Cut it into two pieces like this. And now you're going to take your stamped image and you're going to put just a little glue up here at the top. And then you're not going to try to glue them both at the same time. That is way too hard. I tried. And I'm just going to have a nice border along the top, and then you got to wait there for a second for it to dry. And actually, I know I did not do that right, so I got to pick this up so I can see it there. Now let that dry and then flip it over and do the same thing to the bottom. It does not need much glue. And then just line it up here. And then you just want to double check if you have kind of equidistant border along both sides. And isn't that great? That made it larger. It made it really pop out. And you can't even tell that you've done that when you look at it from the front, that this was the same punch. So you can glue that directly on your card, or I like to add Stampin' Dimensionals. Now I kept this card really quick and easy, low supplies, but you could, if you want to add ribbon, you could, if you wanted to add some gems or something, but I really liked it plain and crisp and clean. It looks so awesome. Let me show you all the other colors I used and the other stamp set too. So for all of these cards that I'm going to show you, I used the Heartfelt Hexagon, and then I used this free stamp set also. And then I'm showing you some examples with the bow punch as well. I was having so much fun just picking like kind of crazy colors to use, and I think they turned out so interesting. This is Pebbled Path with Calypso Coral and Lemon Lime Twist. And this one is horizontal, and you can see I used the bow punch, and that looks so cool. This is from that Heartfelt Hellos, and I even stamped and then put a punch on top. I think that turned out super cool. Now for another color scheme, I did Coastal Cabana with the Calypso Coral and black, and I think that turned out really sharp. With this one, I just put a punched out piece on top and then trimmed the edge, and then this is the black. Looks so crisp and clean. Let's see if this one looks any different. And whoop, I got Stampin' Dimensional things. And then here I put a little dragonfly on the front of that. There are only a couple days left to get that free products with every $50 purchase during Celebration, and one of those is that Heartfelt Hello stamp set that I featured. You can get that for free. So it ends on February 29th, 2024, and also the join bonus ends there then too. If you have questions about any of that, reach out to me. I want you to get the best deals, so I'm happy to help with that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a sunny day.